Hi, my name is Frankfurt, Delaware, and got it. And today I'm reviewing The Fly 2. This is a sequel to the 1986 movie. Starring Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, and that movie is amazing. A bunch of people have seen The Fly 1, which is incredible. I'll get to that one day, but I want to mention The Fly 2. So spoiler, in the first movie, Gina Davis got pregnant by Jeff Goldblum's character, and she's rushed to this facility where she has a baby. And I've had 2 kids, and pregnancies are tough, but not like this. This is some crazy stuff I've never seen before. And she gives birth, but by the way, I guess Gina Davis didn't want to be in this movie. I don't know if it was a small part, if they offered her something. I don't know. This is not Gina Davis in this movie. This is some other girl, and that's okay. And she gives birth to this baby, and she dies, and then it's not really a baby, right? It's like this weird fly thing. I don't know what it is, but they cut it open, and then there's a baby. Okay, cool. So the owner of the company is called Bartek Industries, and that's where they had the kid at, right? And they realize that there's something special about this kid, and they think something's going to go on, that this kid will one day be a fly. Obviously, they know this, and they're right. The kid has like an accelerated growth process. He's really smart. He's intelligent. The doctors are all annoyed by him. They're giving him these tests, and he's like, dude, this is so easy. Anyways, this kid's so smart, and he's stuck in this like small facility. So he figures out a way on this 1989 computer system to break out. And he goes and explores, and he sees this area where there's this golden retriever, and ends up becoming great friends with the golden retriever. And I'm a dog lover. I have 2 dogs, and this part really breaks my heart. One day he goes to visit the dog, and the dog moved locations, and he goes and is like, hey, let me go find out where this dog is. He goes and he sees this huge room, and there's these 2 pods, which are actually the 2 pods his dad worked on, right? Bartek Industry moved the pods to this area. He sees the dog, and he's going into this pod, and he goes, and then he goes over here, and the dog becomes, I don't know, this dog's still alive though, and it is heart-wrenching. I saw this as a kid, and it broke my heart then, and it still breaks my heart now. This scene's so gross and intense. Anyways, we cut to Eric Stoltz. His character is, I think, 5. That's how accelerated these flies grow, I guess. And they're like, you know what? Let's give you an apartment. Let's give you this. I'm going to give you access to the facilities. And Eric Stoltz was like, this is great. But these industry people, they can't figure out his dad's teleportation system, right? And let me explain the teleportation system. You get in one thing, and then you get another, and it transfers you over there, right? So pretty much like put one of these things here, one of these things, let's say in China, and you just magically appear in China. That's how cool this thing is, right? But they can't figure out this system. So they're like, you know what? This kid's really smart. Let's let him play with this. And you know what? Within 3 or 4 days, I mean, he experiments a little, he messes up, but he figures it out. And at the meantime, he's exploring the facilities, meets a cute girl, falls in love, has some sex, and he's having a good life. But he starts to realize, he starts to change. He's starting to get like things on his skin. His face is getting like mutated. He's like, what's going on? And the industry realizes he's becoming a fly, and he starts to freak out. But he realizes also that they're watching him having sex. No, facility. Don't watch Eric Stoltz's character have a sex, because he's gonna have a hissy fit about this, let me tell you. So he escapes, right? He kicks a bunch of bad guys' asses, and he escapes, and he goes away with the girl. Gradually, they end up at a hotel, and unfortunately, he can't run too long. He's gradually becoming weaker and weaker, and what's happening is like a caterpillar like becomes a cocoon. That's what's happening to him, right? He's becoming in this cocoon state, and the girlfriend realizes this, and she's like, I don't know what to do. So she actually calls the facility, and all the cops and everyone comes in, and they take him back to the area, and they put him in a lab. But Eric Stoltz's character, Martin Fly, he breaks out, and of course now he's ready for revenge, right? Like, he's pissed. And also, just because he's a fly, and by the way, he's a badass fly. Look at these effects. Amazing practical effects. Not as good as the first one, but still beautiful. He's pissed, and he has the same intelligence, right? So he knows who messed with him before, and he gets revenge like you wouldn't believe. And actually, there's a really cool scene too with some other dogs, right? They send these like badass dogs against him, like, go get the fly, go get the fly. And he just pets them. Like, he's still the sweet guy. Starts taking on security guards one by one, taking them out. I don't want to go into too many details about the death scenes, but there is one badass scene where he uses fly vomit to hit on the guy's face, and it's one of the grossest things I've ever seen. Martin Fly starts taking a bunch of these people, and gradually a bunch of the bad guys are in the one area where the two telepods are. Of course, the Fly ends up there, breaks into the place, and then it's bad guys versus the Fly. I don't want to go into many more details about that, but it is a badass ending. I like it. It's pretty horrific. And by the way, the score by Christopher Young, beautiful score too. 2 years before this, he did Hellraiser. Now he did this. Genius score. I love this composer. It's not a great sequel in terms of comparing it to The Fly 1, but then again, they took it in a new direction, and I think it holds up. They took it somewhere different. It's written by Frank Darabont, also Mick Garris, so you're in good hands right there. Two horror legends. I would give this 4 out of 5 flies. Anyways, I have this pot experiment I gotta do. Hold on a second. It's time to fly!